I'm Allie Fields. I live in Washington, D.C., and I support the Clean Water Act rule because I am a rower. I paddle around on waterways up and down the East Coast, and in order to do that, I want to know that the waterways I'm on are safe and healthy and protected from pollution. In order to do that, we need to protect the waterways that flow into them too, and so I urge the EPA to move forward with this rulemaking.
Hi, my name is Grant LaRouche, and I live in Annapolis, Maryland. I support the Clean Water Rule because I like to go down to the bay and drink a great craft beer. Without great clean water, you can't have great craft beer. And while I'm down at that beach, I like to watch my 4.5-year-old son go into the water. I'd prefer not to have him or me worry about him in that water and the pollution that's there. So I definitely support the Clean Water Rule.
My name is John Dawes. I'm from Washington, D.C. And the Clean Water Rule is important to me because I'm an avid whitewater paddler and I like to get out on the Potomac on the weekends.
I'm Alan Gerard from Cambridge, Maryland. This is Nicholas and this is Grace. And we support the Clean Water Rule because of these guys. We want to have clean water for the next generation.
Hi, my name is David Fuller and I'm from Verona, Virginia. And why clean water is important to me is that there's so little of it. If you held up a gallon of water and said, this is all the water in the world, oceans, rivers, lakes, what have you, groundwater, and you held up a tablespoon, that tablespoon represents the potable water. So if we don't protect our water source now, it'll be gone forever. So that's why it's important to me.
My name is Jill Witkowski, and I'm from Annapolis, Maryland. I support the Clean Water Rule. I support the Clean Water Rule because wetlands are so important. I lived in New Orleans when Hurricane Katrina hit, and I saw the devastation wrought by hurricanes because of the wetlands loss in Louisiana. So wetlands are so important, we need to protect them, and I support the Clean Water Rule. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Wynn Price. I support the Clean Water Rule. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I grow oysters in Urbana, Virginia. Although oysters filter the water and clean the water, they'd much prefer growing in a clean water space. Thank you.
I'm Ridge Hall. I live in Washington, D.C. and spend a lot of time on the Potomac and Anacostia rivers. I grew up in Stony Creek, Connecticut, right on Long Island Sound, digging clams and eating the clams and oysters that grow right in the marshes there. I did that throughout my childhood, and then one year there was a ban posted by the government saying no taking of those clams and oysters because of pollution from industrial sources and wastewater treatment plants. Then in 1972, Congress passed the Clean Water Act to clean up that pollution, prevent it in the future, and restore those habitats. And protection of headwaters, streams, and wetlands like that is critically important, not only because they provide important habitat for the species, but many of those species are right at the base of the food chain and therefore are important to the health of the rest of the organisms, as well as we humans who depend on them. More recently, my wife and I have 4 grandchildren. We take them swimming, kayaking, rowing, and sailing on lakes, ponds, and streams, and I really hope that they will have the opportunities for enjoyment of those recreational resources that I had as a child. And that's why I support the proposed rule by EPA to clarify the scope of waters of the U.S. and provide the protection that Congress intended back in 1972. Thanks.
My name is Eric Curran. I live in Stanton, which is in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, and I'm an elected member of City Council in Stanton. Of course, I support clean water for the future of our citizens, but personally, I happen to be a home brewer of beer. And so clean water is very important to the quality of my final product, so I do support the Clean Water Rule.
My name is Ken Gill, and I live in St. Mary's City, Maryland. And I love fishing the St. Mary's River. I just want to ensure with supporting the Clean Water Rule that the fisheries within my local area are clean and everyone can fish.
Hi, I'm J.R. Tolbert from Washington, D.C., and I support the Clean Water Rule. Clean water is an important part of being able to get outside and enjoy our environment, to be able to take advantage of kayaking and rowing and all other kinds of water sports that I enjoy doing. By protecting our headwaters and protecting all of our rivers, lakes, and streams, the EPA and the federal government will take a huge step into making sure that I and other Americans get to enjoy all that America has to offer in our great outdoors.
My name is Elizabeth, and I'm from Baltimore. I'm a nurse, and I also have a master's in public health. My interest area is water quality. Clean water is very important because water is the basis of life. There is absolutely nothing you can do without water. How many of us got up this morning and didn't use water? And nobody can say no to that. It's important to our very survival, and water connects us all for farming, for activities of daily living, for everything at all you can think of, you do it with water. So that is why it is imperative for somebody like me to be involved in clean water activities, and for that matter, to advocate for water, clean water, and everything else for the farmers, for our food, for health. And that is what I am for, and that is what I stand for. Thank you.
My name is Rebecca Newman, and I am from Annapolis, Maryland. I support the Clean Water Rule because I love the Chesapeake Bay, especially sailing on it. I grew up sailing, still do that now today with my family, and I want the bay to be clean for future generations to enjoy. So please support the Clean Water Rule.
Hi, my name is Chris French. I am from Mechanicsville, Virginia, and I support the Clean Water Rule. I'm a second-generation conservationist who has been very actively engaged in protection of the environment, as well as the enjoyment of our natural resources, as well as a lifelong Virginia resident. And I support the Clean Water Rule because I want to be able to leave a legacy, an opportunity for my children and my future grandchildren as much as that I've had available to me.
Good morning, my name's Ilana Naylor. I live in Manassas, Virginia, and I'm a person of faith as well as a pediatric nurse. And without clean water, we all die. We like to imagine all the things that we need, but there are really very few things. We need clean air, we need clean water, we need a place to live. But you know something, the gift of life and the gift of water is something that can never be replaced.
Hi, my name is Peter Marks. I live in Annapolis, Maryland, but I'm here in Stanton. I've come down for the conference, and one thing I wanted to do, I've heard a lot about George Washington National Forest, and on Sunday I got here early and I went up into the forest. I'm a big fisherman, and I went to some of these headwater streams to go trout fishing, and I was astonished at these headwater streams. They are crystal clear water. They are loaded with native brook trout, and I caught more than my fair share. I had a great time. These fish only survive in clear, cool, clean waters. This forest has preserved it. These fish have been there for 10,000 years, and I'm hoping that the next generation and future generations have the opportunity to have the fun and the excitement and the joy I had just playing around in the forest, fishing, wading in these little streams that I've had. It's a remarkable experience, and it's one that everybody should be able to experience if they want to, and this rule will enable that to continue.
Hi, I'm Robbie Savage. I live in Charlottesville, Virginia, and clean water is important to me because I have 6 grandchildren. I have a little puppy. I have a legacy that I want to leave of a clean, fresh community in Charlottesville and throughout the world. That's why I support this rule. And it would be great if Congress could reauthorize the Clean Water Act, but until then, we need strong regulations to enforce our programs.
My name is Kate Wofford, and I'm from Sperryville, Virginia. I live in the Hughes River watershed, and clean water is important to me because my 4-year-old and 6-year-old boys love to play in the swimming hole down the hill from our house.
Well, my name is Sarah Bucci, and I live in Richmond, Virginia, and grew up outside of Washington, D.C. And I really care about clean water because my favorite memories as a kid growing up and even now are hiking along rivers that I love. My parents had their first date hiking along the Potomac River, and that was such a big part of my childhood, and now living along the James and being able to enjoy the river and everything that it brings to our city and to families in Virginia is just crucially important to our quality of life. And I know that the headwaters, the smaller streams, and the wetlands that feed our rivers are part of what will make them clean and healthy for a long, long time. And so that's why I support the EPA's efforts to protect all of our waterways from smaller streams and wetlands to our mighty rivers and the Chesapeake Bay. And I urge the EPA to finalize a strong standard that makes sure all of these waterways have the protections they deserve under the Clean Water Act.
Hi, I'm Nancy Searles, and I live at the headwaters of the James, the Shenandoah, and the Potomac River, and I support clean water and the Clean Water Rule because I like drinking water.
My name is Mwazo Mbewe, and I'm from Washington, D.C., and I believe in the Clean Water Rule because I believe that it's very important that as the greatest country in the world, we have clean water that's easily accessible and around for future generations.
Good morning, I'm Jim Foster. I'm president of the Anacostia Watershed Society, and I live on the bay in Shadyside, Maryland, directly over the center of the earth. I have 2 boys, and I love clean water because it's a God-given right to clean water and to have it and to play in it and to drink it and to share it. So we need clean water for all people on the planet. Thank you.
I'm Bill Turner from Lewisburg, West Virginia. Clean water is essential to me because I'm a passionate fly fisherman. My email address is ichthyocentric@hotmail.com.
Hi, my name is Regina Bellina. I go by the nickname of Jeannie. I am from College Park, Maryland, originally born near Doylestown, Pennsylvania, which I consider my home. I spent summers inner tubing on the Delaware River and also in Maryland on the Gunpowder Falls River and Shenandoah River. So I really love water. I was deeply disturbed by the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, Exxon Valdez oil spill, as well as a dead bird that I found in a small creek in Greenbelt National Park. I decided to pursue environmental science as my study because I realized so many people need to do more about clean water, because clean water is the source of all living life on Earth. And if we don't do something about that, you know, it will definitely be cause for concern. Thank you.
My name is Russ Stevenson. I live in Severna Park, Maryland, on a tributary of the Magathie River. I've owned a house there for almost 35 years, and I've been sailing on the bay for over 50 years. And during that time, I've seen the bay get worse and worse, and it's very sad. And making the bay a better place for people to live, work, fish, sail, and enjoy themselves is really, really important. Please support that effort.
Hi, my name is Luisa Robles, and I support clean water. I am a kayaker, and I appreciate clean water when I go kayaking. I also like to go hiking in the woods, and I really like the first order intermittent streams and see when they come on and when they go off. So let's support clean water.
Hi, I'm Bruce Joris, and I'm from Augusta County, where we own 33 acres on the Middle River, and I support clean water in part because when my family moved there, the bottom of the river is coated with muck from nutrients that shouldn't be there. And I remember growing up on rivers and stream beds that were clear. You could see the rocks, and I want my kids, or if not my kids, my grandkids, to be able to see a river bottom like that on the Middle River.
My name is Jackie Gild, and I'm from Anne Arundel County, Maryland, and I live in the Patuxent River watershed. And I support the Clean Water Rule because the Patuxent River and the South River, where we recreate, are both so polluted that you cannot enjoy them safely without fear of disease. And the fish are dying, the oysters are non-existent practically, and the crabs population have declined as well. And more importantly, I live directly on Stockett's Run, which is a tributary to the Patuxent River. There is nothing living in Stockett's Run, and I'm told just 10 years ago you could find fish 10 inches big, perch and herring, in that river. So I would like to see them come back. I'd like to see all the residents of Anne Arundel County able to safely enjoy all of our rivers and the Chesapeake Bay.
Hi, my name is Joanna Diamond. I am from Baltimore, Maryland, and I support the Clean Water Rule because I used to always play in a creek behind my house in Owings Mills, and I want to make sure that that same fun and enjoyment can come to my children.
Hi, I'm Andy Fellows. I'm the mayor of College Park, Maryland, and I support the Clean Water Rule because I live in the Indian Creek watershed, which is part of the Anacostia. We're lucky enough to have Indian Creek, Paint Branch, and Little Paint Branch and other creeks flowing through our community. we know they're not going to be cleaned up unless we protect the intermittent streams that are flowing into them. Also, our drinking water comes from the Patuxent River and the Potomac River. We know that that drinking water is not going to be protected unless we have the Clean Water Rule finalized. So this is an important rule, so let's get it finalized. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Heather Iliff. I'm Vice President of Maryland Nonprofits, and the Clean Water Act is so important to us. It's really important to everyone's quality of life. It's our health, it's our drinking water, it's our recreation, it's our land, rivers, and our oceans. So the Clean Water Act is really central to quality of life for everyone.
Hi, my name is Sarah Minninson. I'm from Baltimore, and I support the Clean Water Rule. I love eating fish, and I really want to know that the fish that I eat is healthy, especially if it's local.
My name is Alex Palmer, and I'm living in Hyattsville, Maryland. I support the Clean Water Rule. I'm growing up along an urban stream in Ohio, in the city of Cleveland, Ohio. I really became connected with streams and rivers. Watching waterfalls over beds of shale. And of course, being in an urban area, I've seen the impacts of urban development on streams, trash, pollution, culverting large sections of streams, burying it underground. And so clean water and clean streams are a direct indicator of the health of our community. And I want to see that stream and all streams as healthy as they can be, as I do communities.
My name is Laura Banky, and I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I care about clean water because I have a small stream that runs through my neighborhood, and I want my daughter to be able to run through it, play in it, look for frogs, look for fish like I did when I was young, and not have to worry about her health.
I'm John Devine. I'm from Arlington, Virginia. Clean water is important to me because I have two boys who like to kick around in the small stream near my house called 4 Mile Run, which is a tributary to the Potomac River. We like to kayak out on the river as well, and our whole family likes to play around in the stream.
I'm Hillary Falk, and I live near College Creek in Annapolis, Maryland. And I want clean water because of my two sons, and so that they can enjoy it in their future. And I believe in a strong U.S. Clean Water Rule. They can't swim yet, but I really hope that they can swim in our local creek in the future.
My name is Dennis Chestnut. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I support the Clean Water Rule. I love the Anacostia River, which is a river I grew up with my whole entire life, and I'd like to see that river health restored for future generations so that it's fishable and swimmable, and the Clean Water Rule will help to achieve that.
My name is Claudia Fredetsky, and I work for the Maryland Sierra Club. And some of my fondest memories growing up were from discovering wetlands near my house and exploring them and watching the wildlife and the butterflies and frogs and newts. And now I have kids myself, and I'd love to be able to make available similar experiences that I had when I was growing up. And I think it's really, really important that we expand protections for our very important wetlands that provide key habitat for really important species, and also reduce stormwater, provide free stormwater management, and reduce flooding. So on so many counts, these wetlands are really critical, and let's protect them. Let's expand protections for wetlands since they are rapidly disappearing. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Colonel Paul Olson, Commander of the Norfolk District Corps of Engineers. And of course, clean water is important to me because water touches everything we do in the Commonwealth. As your federal engineer, I take extreme interest on everything that has to do with water, from the top of the mountains in the Shenandoah all the way down to the seafloor. And you've got my commitment to do my duty and to do my best for everyone to ensure our water is clean and usable for future generations. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jody Rose, and I'm from Rockville, Maryland. And for me, clean water is about people. We're connected to each other through people, through water.
And what we do affects everybody. And I know that I have seen people fishing in our rivers for food because it is how they survive. And we need to make water clean and fish consumable for everyone, even those without a voice.
Mi nombre es Ramón Palencia y vivo en Tacoma Park, Maryland. El agua limpia es un tema muy importante para la comunidad latina. Nosotros vivimos en la bahía de Maryland y para nosotros es importante el agua limpia. Solemos disfrutar de centros, solemos ir a la bahía de Maryland a pescar, a actividades acuáticas. Por eso es un tema muy importante, especialmente para nosotros, y poder conservar el agua limpia para futuras generaciones y nuestros hijos.
My name is Brenna Goggin. I am born and raised in Delaware, and I am the mom of 2 West Highland White Terriers, Padfoot and Dougal, who love to swim in our local waterways and have become sick on numerous occasions because of water quality issues. And so I am for anything that cleans up our water so that my boys can swim in safe, healthy, clean water.
My name is Ed Sterling. I'm from Alexandria, Virginia. I live on the Potomac River. Kayaking, fishing, swimming, these things are all important to me. And protecting headwater streams makes sure I know that I won't get sick and that those rivers are healthy.
Hi, my name's Dawn Stoltzfus, and I support the Clean Water Rule. I've lived all my life in the Chesapeake Bay watershed. I grew up in Pennsylvania with a small stream running behind my house that I would learn later actually flew to the Chesapeake Bay. And so from that, I've learned how important a watershed is and the importance of clean water, not just for fishing and farming and recreation, but especially for drinking water, for the drinking water that I drink and that my child drinks.
Hi, I'm Chris Trumbauer. I live in Annapolis, Maryland. As a lifelong Marylander who grew up in the Eastern Shore, clean water and everything about our rivers and streams is important to me. It's such a part of Maryland's identity for healthy seafood and being out on the bay. We need to keep those commitments.
My name is Caroline Coogan, and I'm from Arlington, Virginia, and I support the Clean Water Rule. In Arlington, we're really close to DC, and so we're surrounded by all these great creeks and streams, and we all go out walking. Ever since I was little, my family and I would all go on these walks down to the streams, and we take our dog who loves to go paddling and scrabbling over the rocks, and eventually we can find our way down through these streams to the Potomac. So it's always been so clear how the headwaters lead to the Potomac, and then the bigger rivers go into the Chesapeake Bay. So it's really crucial to protect the entire ecosystem and the entire watershed.